It starts with a simple goal. You sit down with a cup of coffee, ready to map out a year of discovery. But within an hour, the screen becomes a battlefield. 47 browser tabs are open at the top of your monitor, each one promising a better way to learn. You click through another glossy catalog, the pages slick and heavy under your fingers, adding to the growing mountain of options on your desk. The air in the room feels tighter. Every new tab brings another opinion, another ranking, another expert telling you what your child needs to succeed. You stare at the blinking cursor, the weight of the decision settling into your shoulders. Is this the right one? Will this be the program that works? Or just another failed experiment? The silence of the house highlights the frantic pace of your clicking. You are not just looking for books. You are looking for a guarantee that you will not fail. The pressure is not coming from the curriculum itself, but from the impossible standard of perfection you have set for yourself. You push the mouse away. The screen glows, mocking your indecision. Stop looking at the screen. Look at the child sitting across the table. Forget the rankings and the top 10 lists. They do not live on a spreadsheet. They live in the way they process the world around them. Watch them. Does their focus sharpen when they hold a colorful workbook, or do their eyes glaze over at the sight of dense, static text? Some children need the tactile resistance of a pencil on paper to anchor their thoughts. Others are built for motion. If your child needs to pace, jump, or build to understand a concept, forcing them to sit still is not discipline. It is a blockade. When you push a child into a program that fights their natural rhythm, the lesson ceases to be about learning. It becomes a daily tug of war. You see the frustration in their tightened jaw, the way they slump when the books come out, and the growing wall between you. Every minute spent fighting their nature is a minute lost to resentment. You are not just teaching a subject, you are trying to reach a person. If you ignore how they naturally engage with the world, you are setting both of you up for a battle that neither side can win. Now turn the mirror on yourself. The curriculum must work for your child, but it must also be a tool you can actually wield. Are you a parent who needs a script, a roadmap, and a checklist to function? If you choose a program that requires you to design every lesson from scratch, you will spend your nights drowning in prep work. You will be exhausted by Wednesday. Conversely, if you are a creative who thrives on spontaneity, a rigid, automated system will feel like a cage. You will fight the pages instead of using them. This is where burnout starts, not in the difficulty of the math or the complexity of the history, but in the friction between your natural teaching rhythm and the demands of the box you bought. Be honest about your available time. Be honest about your need for order versus your desire for flexibility. If you pick a path that forces you to act against your core temperament, you are building a house of cards. It might look perfect on the shelf, but it will collapse under the weight of the first difficult week. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot sustain a style that feels like a constant performance. Your teaching style is the engine of your homeschool. If the engine does not match the driver, the whole journey stalls. Once you understand your child and your own limits, you face the final hurdle, the mountain of choices. You have 47 tabs open and a stack of catalogs that look identical. The noise is paralyzing. You need to stop asking what is popular and start asking what is essential. Define your why. Are you trying to remediate a specific struggle in reading? Are you aiming to accelerate a gifted learner who is bored by the basics? Or is your primary goal to weave faith-based instruction into every subject? Most parents fail because they try to solve every problem at once. They pick a curriculum because it looks professional or because it is the trend of the season. But if your goal is remediation, a broad exploratory program will only scatter your focus. If your goal is academic acceleration, a slow-paced, repetitive workbook will stall your progress. Narrowing your focus is the only way to silence the doubt. When you know your target, the 100 other options on the screen lose their power. You are no longer searching for the best curriculum in the world. You are searching for the one that serves your specific goal. Suddenly, the search is not a frantic hunt. It is a process of elimination. You gain the freedom to say no to the shiny, expensive programs that simply do not fit your mission. Clarity is the antidote to the chaos. Now look under the hood. Every curriculum is built on a philosophy, a methodology that dictates how information travels from the page to the mind. You might encounter the structured, rhythmic repetition of a traditional textbook, or perhaps the tactile, self-directed exploration of a hands-on approach, or the literature-heavy, nature-focused world. These are not just labels, they are distinct languages of learning. The trouble begins when you try to force a translation that does not exist. Imagine a child who needs to move, to build, to manipulate physical objects to grasp a concept. Now place that child in front of a heavy, text-dense, traditional workbook. The friction is instant. The child stares at the block of print and feels the walls closing in. You watch them fidget, tap their pencil, and look toward the window. You push them to finish the page, and they push back with silence or tears. The curriculum is not bad. It is simply speaking a language your child cannot hear. If you choose a highly structured, step-by-step program for a learner who thrives on creative freedom, you are not teaching, you are wrestling. You spend your energy policing the process instead of facilitating the discovery. When the methodology does not align with how the brain processes the world, every single lesson becomes a battle of wills. Before you finalize any purchase, you must run it through the right fit test. This is not about prestige or the weight of the box on your doorstep. Stop equating a high price tag with academic quality. Some of the most effective tools are simple, affordable, and stripped of unnecessary bells and whistles. Ask yourself the hard questions. Is this material truly age appropriate? Or are you pushing too hard to keep up with a perceived standard? Is it manageable for you? Or does it require hours of preparation you simply do not have? Most importantly, is it flexible? Life is not a static classroom. You need a program that can survive a bad week, a sudden illness, or a surprise vacation without the entire schedule collapsing into ruin. If the curriculum demands perfection every single day, it is a liability, not an asset. You are looking for a rhythm that can bend without breaking. When you hold a catalog, ignore the glossy finish and the price. Look at the page density. Look at the required prep time. Look at the transition points between lessons. If the material feels like a rigid cage that will trap you the moment life gets complicated, walk away. The right choice is the one that stays functional when your resources are low and your patience is thinner. Now, turn your attention to the reviews. You are likely drowning in 5-star ratings and glowing testimonials, but stop looking for the stars. They are noise. They are subjective echoes of someone else's kitchen table. When you read through forums or product pages, ignore the score and hunt for patterns. You will inevitably find the complaint that a program is too structured. Pause there. Do not take that as a warning. Ask yourself what the reviewer actually needed. If they were looking for a flexible, open-ended unit study, then yes, a rigid, step-by-step textbook felt like a prison. But for your child, that exact structure might be the lifeline that keeps them from spiraling into confusion. A complaint about being too repetitive is a goldmine if your child is the type who needs 3 weeks of practice to master a single concept. One person's frustration is another person's solution. Stop looking for what everyone else likes and start looking for what they are complaining about. If the complaints align with the things your child actually finds helpful, you have found your match. Seeing through the noise means realizing that a negative review is not a failure of the product. It is a signpost pointing toward a specific learning style. Stop chasing the crowd and start decoding the function. Now, bridge the gap between theory and reality. Never commit your budget to a full year without seeing it in action. Open the digital portal. Download the free samples. Print the placement tests and lay them out on the table. This is the moment where the glossy promise of a catalog meets the actual pulse of your home. Give your child the first lesson. Watch their eyes as they scan the page. Do they lean in, or do they immediately look for a way to escape the chair? Use the placement test as a diagnostic mirror. If they struggle with the basics of the sample, do not force the grade level just to satisfy a schedule. You are looking for the point where they are challenged but not paralyzed. As you sit there, the tension is real. You are risking time and effort on this trial, but this is the only way to verify the fit. Watch how the lesson unfolds in real time. Does the pace match their natural speed? Does the format trigger curiosity or resistance? If the child hits a wall within 10 minutes, you have your answer. Do not ignore the friction just because you like the price or the cover art. The trial is your final safety net. If it fails here, it will fail in 3 months. Trust the data you see in this room more than any testimonial you read online. If you have given it a month and the friction is still there, stop. Look at the books piled on the table. Look at the digital files on your desktop. You are not trapped. The most dangerous myth in homeschooling is the idea that you have signed a permanent contract. You have not. You have simply made a choice, and now you have the data to make a better one. If the lessons feel like a war of attrition every single morning, you are not failing your child by changing course. You are saving them. Close the book. Delete the account. Walk away from the investment of money to protect the investment of your child's curiosity. This is the moment of true liberation. You are the architect of this education, not a servant to a syllabus. When you give yourself permission to pivot, the tension in the room will vanish. The guilt you feel about giving up is misplaced. You are not giving up. You are optimizing. You are shedding what does not work to find the rhythm that actually sustains your family. Take a breath. Acknowledge that the trial served its purpose by showing you what to avoid. Pivot now while you still have the energy to start again. The freedom to change is your greatest tool. Now, watch the dust settle. As you align your method with your child's nature and your own capacity, the atmosphere in your home begins to shift. The pile of unused catalogs disappears. The frantic browser tabs close for good. In their place, a rhythm emerges. It is not a perfect, static picture, but it is a consistent one. You will see it in the morning. The way the table is set, the way your child opens the book with curiosity instead of dread, and the way you sit down to teach without the weight of performance on your shoulders. You have stopped chasing trends and started building a life. Peace is the true metric of your progress. When the lessons flow, when the questions come freely, and when the day ends without the exhaustion of a battle, you have arrived. Homeschooling is not a race to finish a curriculum. It is a journey of finding the path that allows your family to grow together. Keep your goals clear, stay flexible when the unexpected happens, and trust the rhythm you have built. The best curriculum is the one that stays open on the desk day after day, year after year, because it is the one that finally lets you breathe. You have done the hard work. Now, enjoy the learning.